Hey everyone, it's Joy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really fun fall circle scene card for you today using products from Pink and Maine. These are the fall snow globe scenes, which they do have a snow globe die. I just don't have that, but I created a cute scene with this. So here is that little stamp. You have 4 cute little images and quite a few sentiments. I'm going to use 3 of these images and we will be doing some Copic coloring. So I stamped my images with Copic friendly black ink. I believe I used Honeybee Stamps ink on some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, and I'm going to just be using my Copic markers. You guys can see the caps here. Hopefully I have them all straight for you, but I'm just going to be coloring these cute little guys. So you have this first image with this little bear and the stacks of pumpkins. Then there is the scarecrow, and he's so cute. And then you have the cute little fox at the top. And what I like about that image is if you look closely, it looks like he's pushing this fairly fast and leaves are kind of flying off. There's like a little swishy wind little mark at the top there. So we're gonna add something to make it look like leaves are falling off as well on this little scene. So super simple, and I really love these images. There is coordinating dies. I will be using those as well. So I did just want to say something else really quick that's like completely off topic of coloring, but while I'm coloring I'll bring this up to you guys. I had to block my first person from my YouTube channel the other day, and it was interesting. Normally I'm not a very sensitive person. I don't usually let people bother me, but this person just was wanting to make me feel very stupid and that I was making mistakes that weren't mistakes, telling me how certain things were when it's not that way. You know what I mean? Like when they're not on the inside of something and trying to tell me certain things. And so the energy just wasn't cool, and so I had to block this person. The reason why I'm even bringing this up is because I just want to remind everybody, and let me also say before I say this, that this really is one of the first people that's ever been rude on my channel, so all of you guys are amazing. So when you're amazing to me, I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to people that feel a certain way or whatever, but we're creators and we're sharing our projects with you for free, and we're people and we have feelings. And at that time that I read these messages, I was really going through something hard, so it just hit at the wrong time and really made me feel bad. So I just want to remind everyone that we're just people and we all have feelings. And if I annoy you in some way or I bother you, you are welcome to not watch my channel, because I would hate for you to feel bothered when you watch me. I would say maybe go watch someone else that doesn't bother you. And so yeah, so anyways, I just thought I would share that. And I just want to thank all of you guys for being so super supportive. And I just absolutely adore you guys. And I appreciate you. And thank you always for watching and for commenting and letting me know what you guys like and how kind you guys are. And I'm not going to let one person just ruin my day. Like I said, it just kind of hit me on the wrong day. And so, but I had to block that person, and because it was more than one comment on more than one video. So anyways, that was my little whatever. Let's get back to fun stuff. So, okay, so we've got this cute little fox here, and I think he's so fun. He just reminds me of a cartoon for some reason. I couldn't even tell you what cartoon, but just like cartoons from the 80s is what he looks like. You can see that I'm using reds, oranges, and yellows for the leaves. So I'm not going to color all of the leaves inside of the wheelbarrow because they're all going to be the same color as the ones I've done before. I wanted the wheelbarrow to look metallic, so I used like C colors. I believe I used C2, 4, and 6 to kind of get that look. We've got our little scarecrow here. I gave him a little tan hat. He's going to be like blues and greens. I thought I wanted to bring in a little bit more blues because the background is going to have some blue to that as well. So, and I'm sorry I'm kind of far away here. I will zoom in here in just a second. But so yeah, his shirt is blue. His little pants, or he doesn't really have legs, are going to be green, that same green that I've used for the leaves and for that little ribbon on his hat. Little rosy cheeks, a darker brown nose, and then again the same greens for the stalks of corn. I really wanted to keep, even though I'm using quite a few colors, I wanted to keep the greens the same. If you notice, I did do 2 different colors of orange for the pumpkins. I did not want all of them to be the same. So those other 3 little pumpkins, I will alternate with the colors as well for that. And like I mentioned, there is coordinating dies, so I'm going to use those to cut them out. Then I have the stitched circle dies, and I have the biggest circle die. I'm going to die cut that 3 times from white cardstock. And I have my little critters laid out, and then I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece of paper and ink blend the sky. I used Stormy Sky because I really wanted to have the feeling of fall. So that's kind of why I went with that color. Then I have Mowed Lawn and Rustic Wilderness for the grass. And so I'm going to start with the Mowed Lawn and just lightly reach up to the blue, and then I'll add a little bit of a darker area at the bottom with the Rustic Wilderness. So a super simple ink blended background part for the scene, because I really want everything to be about these cute little critters. But look at that Rustic Wilderness. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, now I want to stamp the sentiment. It says thankful for you. Usually I stamp the sentiment kind of at the end after I've placed everything, but I want this centered in the card in the card. Actually, it just kind of would work better with the way I have everything laid out, because I did kind of lay that out and put that to the side. So I stamped that with black ink in my MISTI, and I'm just going to trim that out with my paper trimmer, and then we can pop that up in the center of the card and start laying out our scene. I am going to use some foam tape behind the sentiment and behind the cute little bear and pumpkins. So I'm just going to place some of these guys here. Then I can get that sentiment in there, and then I can place all the rest of the little guys around. Now, first, I do want to ground my images. I know I've talked about this before in other videos, because as you can see right now, it just looks like they're floating out in space. So I'm using some of those same green Copic markers, and I'm going to add a darker shadow, then blend out with like a lighter color. And I usually end up doing 2 colors, but I think I did 3 this time. But as you can see already, why that makes such a huge difference underneath those images. Then I'm also going to come in and just add some little like tufts of grass around, because that's just going to fill in all of this green space. I'm also going to add some dots around. It gives your background some texture. It's going to make it look like the grass is not just flat. But at the very least, even if you didn't add these tufts of grass and dots, definitely ground your images, because it really does change the look of your card. So now that that's done, I can put that sentiment right in the center. And I did trim off anything that's hanging over, because obviously we don't want that, sticking out. But I liked having some of the images go off the side of this because it makes your scene look larger. Now, I did talk about the flying leaves, so I'm going to place these 3 leaves up higher so it looks like they're flying off of his pile, because that's already what the little image looks like. So I just decided to play with that a little bit further. Then we've got the more pumpkins, the little acorns, some more leaves that I want to lay around in the grass to also help fill up that scene just a little bit. And I am in love with these little images, and I love it on this circle card. I think I've made a circle card once or twice before, but like maybe 1,000 years ago. So it's kind of fun to make one again. And it just makes your scene look very different than just on an A2 or a slimline or whatever. So I'm going to finish trimming off those other little pieces, and then we can adhere this to making the card base and everything. So I'm going to adhere another full sheet behind there, and then I have a smaller die cut circle that I folded directly in half, and I'm just going to trim the bottom off a little bit because I don't need all this extra paper, because we're going to make the hinge. I really couldn't think of an easier way, I'm sure, or not easier, better. I'm sure there's a better way to make this hinge, but this really did work. So I added some adhesive. I stuck that to the back of my front panel of circle so I could exactly line that up where it's the top so it'll open correctly with the images. I'm going to add some more adhesive, adhere that to the back, and then I can just trim off that little bit of excess that's on the top, or excuse me, on the top sides there. And then you have this great little card that opens up. Now I want to add some finishing details to this card. Of course, I'm bringing in my black glaze pen. You guys know I love that. So I'm going to add that to the eyes and to the noses where I can. And then my white gel pen, of course, I'm going to come in and add highlights to the pumpkins, some little dots to the cheeks, to the leaves, you know, just adding the little extra step that kind of brings those images to life. So I'm just going to finish up on, I added a little bit of dots to the Scarecrow's buttons because I got a little bit of blue marker on those. And then near the whiskers on the little fox. And look at how cute. Okay, guys, this card is complete. I love this. I love this. It's so, so fun. So thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. Thank you for listening to my little moment of explaining what happened and just appreciating you guys. And I will be back soon with another video. So have a wonderful day. Bye.